Hello everyone, we're back with some more Ark Nova replay analysis. We got a couple of games to look at today. I'll just set up the chat. There we are. And remind me to go in full screen mode before the next game. Yeah, lovely. Yeah, how's the sound? Okay, first game we're going to look at a player called mellonstrawberry. They've been around the top for a while. They're currently first in the arena rankings, but that can change. That changes daily, basically. It's a very close race up there. But they're still a top 5 player overall, so I'm interested to sort of look at their style. Their opponent's about 400 rated in this game, which is still reasonably good. We're on the Hollywood Hills, so lots of sponsors when you cover these cards, when you cover these H's, when you cover all the H's, sponsors are one cheaper. So interested to see how early that gets prioritized. It can be a bit tricky to play on this map. The opening hand looks alright, not amazing. What about the end goals? Architectural, conservation. Probably more likely to keep architectural out of these two. I guess if you get some sponsors that can place buildings, it can be a bit easier, but not that easy on this map. Conservation is just normally very hard to get all 4 shields from. But looking at the opening pack, I think from this you definitely keep guided school tours, just a very playable sponsor. You can play it first turn if you want, but good way of getting 1 CP. You could even combine it with the long build vulture to get 2 CP relatively early. Like you start with the science museum, science university, get that played. All of a sudden you have 2 CP and an upgraded card, but it's quite expensive. Also, some more interesting decisions. There's 2 Europe icons here and 2 Australia icons. It'd be tempting for me to go the Europe just to like get the 2 out of the way. Australia, you could also go for the 2. I guess the Australian animals would be slightly better. Normally, because you like paying for all the animal abilities, Sprint and Venom are actually abilities that you can use. Flocking's not going to be used early, and Digging I think is just completely pointless. So let's see what they decide to keep. Guided school tours, 2 Australian animals, and the long-billed vulture. We also do have birds up here, so that's a good keep for like the long-term birds project. I think birds are generally the strongest animal anyway, so keeping a bird that can go in the aviary is nice. Just gives you an excuse to build one. But alright, first player. There's a lot of things you could do with this action. You could play the sponsor straight away. You could also build a size 2 enclosure straight away for like the lizard or the platypus. I don't think you need to associate straight away, but they do anyway. I guess they want to secure the Australia Partner Zoo to get a 6 discount. Probably plan on playing both of these guys before the first break. And it could be a bit contested being one of the projects, so yeah, okay. Prioritizes that over risking missing out on it. Yes, true. Also for herbivore breeding program. That is a very good excuse. And yeah, okay, that was something I was wondering as well, because I've watched a bit of this match. Do they decide to go the Australia Partner Zoo just because there's herbivore breeding program, or were they planning on saving the 6 money anyway? Opponent builds a size 3 enclosure. And we build now build a size 2. It's kind of a risky time to build, I think. Because normally if you played a sponsor here, like played the guided school tours, then you get to do the snapping cards action first. But now the opponent can associate and then do cards 5 before us. There is a risk it could get taken. I guess they thought it would be a pretty low risk. Opponent starts with a Europe partner zoo. Now we play the guided school tours. I mean, pretty straightforward so far. Opponent just draws from the deck. Could tell us a few things. Obviously, there's nothing that the opponent really wants to snap up here. It tells us they probably don't have a herbivore, or at least a European herbivore. But it also tells us their hand is probably not that good because they can only hold 3 cards. And if they're going up to 6, they're just risking discarding a lot. So it means they're hoping to draw into something good. Yeah, this is snapping the herbivore breeding program. Yes, that is another interesting question. Do we settle for 2 Australia or do we go all the way up to 5? Because we do have herbivore breeding program to play like first project, so you don't need to rush Australia 2 anymore. Opponent plays hydrologist, which is a very good sponsor. Let's just have a look. They decided to build up here first. So they obviously plan on getting the money soon. It means they also have a water animal to play. This will be the other size 2 enclosure for the platypus now. I don't think you'd take either of these, just take from the deck. Pretty nice. Another bird for the project. Opponent plays the flamingo. Yeah, okay, kiosk spot doesn't matter, so down there is fine. Pretty good first animal. The extra kiosk is nice. They can obviously associate to Europe next turn. Now we get to hit him with Venom, which is quite annoying actually. Venom early game is very annoying. Yeah, so one thing we should note so far is that they're not getting too distracted by the H's. Like, their game plan is to play both these animals before the first break. They don't have a lot of hand space because they haven't taken the hand space uni. So they're not like rushing to cover up the H's because their hand is full. They've already played one sponsor, but sponsors is getting up there. They draw into Talented Communicator, which is pretty amazing, not gonna lie for them. Opponent just X's out the Venom card, which is a perfectly good move. I mean, you can't really afford to lose 2 money at this stage. Choosing to push the break forward 4. Kind of baiting the opponent into taking a break. Opponent just decides to build instead. They build a size 3 enclosure, covering the reputation, which is fine. Also not going out of their way to cover an H just yet. Okay, so the money we just got from sponsors we can use to build a single kiosk. Okay, it's a bit more income. I guess still sort of baiting the opponent into taking the break. Opponent X's out Associate, which I think is a mistake. Generally, well, because... Sorry, I'm just going to take a drink. because they have 2 Europe already done, I think first action you'd want to do next, like after the break, is associate 2 Europe and then get an extra worker. So with association down at 1, I think it's a good time for Melon to cause a break here. Which they do. Even just playing sponsors at 2 just to trigger the break is still a good move. Just because the timing of it's really awkward for the opponent. Now they like want to associate, but it's right down the bottom. I think the opponent should have just triggered the break themselves. Opponent starts by drawing cards. Do we have anything snappable? I mean, the Indian P-Fowl is interesting because there's how we're looking for birds. The opponent has 1 bird played, the flamingo. Also the pelican, which is Australia and bird. I don't know if I'd snap it from there though. I mean, they could equally just build a single pavilion there and grab it. But that's what they do anyway. Herbivore breeding program. And decides to take the 5 income. And the reason we're doing that is because we're about to upgrade sponsors and play Talented Communicator. So Melon upgrades sponsors about 40% of games, was the stat I looked at before this match. Obviously on this map it's a lot better to upgrade sponsors, you have a lot more reasons to. And Talented Communicator is a good reason to. But yeah, 2 workers is enough in the early game. You don't need to go get a 3rd one. The money is also very important. So I like that decision. Opponent plays Polar Bear Exhibit. It's an okay sponsor. It gives 2 points immediately. It gives them some nice money because it's around all these water spaces from hydrologists. If their goal is aquatic zoo, then it's very nice. They have 3 water icons already. Melon draws cards. Interesting. Do you snap up the native lizards here or just... Because the thing is, you can play native lizards straight from the row and your opponent's just played cards. But you don't really want to play lizards yet because the rocks haven't been connected to, so they decide to snap it up. I mean, it's a very good card. Especially on this map, you're going to connect to all these rocks early, so it's like 9 rocks, 9 points. Pretty good. Opponent takes the Australia Partner Zoo. And they also upgrade sponsors first. Hopefully for them, they have good sponsors to play. Spending an X token to play Talented Communicator, I assume. Okay, makes some sense. Animals is sort of stuck up here because we don't have enclosures. So I guess the plan is take another partner, so you upgrade, build, and then play animals. Opponent builds a size 4 enclosure. We saw that they had the pelican. That's definitely a possibility, yep. Asia Zoo for the vulture. Upgrade, build. And where do you build the size 4 enclosure is the question. There's not many spaces to put it. True, and no science icon either. So yeah, what's the plan here? I mean, they're signaling that they want to build next. Opponent just moves the break forward a little bit. which is an interesting use of upgraded sponsors, but I don't mind it. I think one thing to be aware of is... Oh, interesting that the opponent also... Hello, Bob. Interesting that the opponent decided to take a partner zoo instead of going for 2 Europe. I think going for 2 Europe first would have been a much more sensible move just to get the extra worker. And it's not like they had a sponsor that they wanted to play immediately. They just used sponsors at 3 to get some money. So I think they could have played that a bit better. And we have a petting zoo here. A surprise petting zoo. Seeing as they don't have any petting zoo animals and there's only one in the display and it's not even a good one. And they cover up 2 of the H's now. True, the opponent might have a clear path to 4 Europe, but they only have 3 cards in hand. It seems unlikely to me, and even then, I think I'd still rather just go for 2 Europe. And we know one of the cards is the Pelican. And the one they're playing now is a 3-size monkey that actually jumps the brakes. So now the sponsor move makes a bit more sense. I'm pretty sure they could also afford to play the Pelican, but that doesn't make sense to play when you don't have any money to take the build action afterwards. But they trigger the brake. Which is decent timing. I mean, melons... So points are level. Melons ahead in income a little bit, though. Not a huge advantage, but we do know that he has a nice sponsor card coming up. And having the second worker is quite a big deal. So really out of... So it doesn't have any animals to play. Just drawing to see what they get. The Condor is quite nice. Now it's a very good reason to get a bird aviary. And... Explorer could not ask for a better sponsor after you've already upgraded sponsors. And true, yes. So with the Pelican, that's 5 water, and there is Aquatic right here. And it seems like they're going to snap it up with the next move, but Melon couldn't have stopped that, so I guess they're fine just drawing from the deck. And this should be a snap up of Aquatic. Very nice. So the opponent could even play the Pelican right now and then play Aquatic at full power. This seems like a good time for Explorer. You want to play Explorer as early as possible, because you just get points and money for every new icon you play. So the instant money is nice, but the appeal is where the real value is. Okay, the opponent plays their Pelican. They have their 5 water. A little bit sad to be taking a build action that's not upgraded. At least they're building a size 3 enclosure with it. Minimum number of turns. I think I've done a 26 once. I definitely did a 27 that I posted in the YouTube. I forget what the YouTube community tab. I posted that. I think I got a 1 better game after that. Okay, Melon takes the 1 science uni to be able to play the Vulture now. And upgrades animals, that makes sense. As they are about to play animals. Well, they need to build first, so it's kind of tricky. 25 is extremely fast. Okay, opponent plays the Aquatic, which we expected. Taking a worker or the income. I understand taking the income because they're like spent most of their money and now they're like even with income or slightly ahead. But I think the extra worker might be more useful for them. because they haven't even started with their universities yet. Of course, if they get this university first, that would be a huge bonus. They upgrade build, which is about time. So yeah, the opponent's slightly behind on upgrades, but they've just taken a point lead. And it seems like, yeah, this is awkward, like I said, because you really want to be playing these birds, but no X tokens, can't build the bird aviary until it's power 5, so animals just needs to get out of the way, so you might as well get a reputation. But it's a very sad animals action, only playing a single petting zoo animal. So another thing I noticed about Melon Strawberry's stats is they love petting zoo animals. They average 1.3 per game, which is basically a full 3 petting zoo animal set every second game. Nearly. This is compared to other top players like JJome, who averages 0.3 a game, or BDW, who averages about 0.8 a game. So this is like crazy petting zoo animal territory. JJome agrees, petting zoo OP. In this position, I might have been tempted to X out cards or something and then just built the aviary and then played the birds, but that might be just too inefficient, and that might be where I'm making mistakes. So I think it's interesting that he did it. You obviously do want to be playing animals at 5 as often as possible to get the reputation up. You want to be getting this third worker out, and then just getting all these rewards later. Okay, this is something that's a mistake by the opponent for sure. They played sponsors at power 5 to play federal grants. Generally, when you upgrade sponsors, you want to make the most out of its strength. So if they spent 1 X token, they could have played sponsorship lines from the display as well. Costs them 2 money, but it gives them 3 income and a point immediately. So it's definitely worth playing, and it's worth an X token, I reckon. This must be time for the bird aviary, and it fits quite nicely here to cover the last H. And also connect to all the rocks. And they get quarantine lab, which is okay. Today is just replay analysis, but on Sunday I will be playing Arnak, yes. I'm ready. So nice spot for the bird aviary. On this map it is a bit tricky because like you want to be covering all these rock spots early, and it can leave not enough space for the aviary later. So if you can get it built early enough, it's good. That's an interesting question, Graham. Which card do you not upgrade? And we're going to see that decision shortly. It definitely depends on the situation, but this decision confused me a little bit. True, okay. So another reason to not play the birds is to stay under 25 appeal for native lizards. I don't think you needed to play both, but like playing one and the rabbit would have still been under. It might be a small difference in the end. Opponent just draws from the deck. Yeah, they're running out of cards, so it makes sense. How's the opponent looking? They have 1 enclosure of size 3 available. Still ahead in points. Melon's a little bit ahead in money, but there's obviously about to be a big sponsor action coming. Yeah, not the money to play both birds yet. I think they could have, or maybe. I don't think they could have before. They probably could have before, but it's fine. The Gould monitor from the opponent could be a bit of a race to 5 Australia here. I mean, committing to 3 is interesting. I don't think the Gould's monitor is that good of an animal. It gives quite low points. If we look at the formula, it gives 6 appeal, but it costs 21, so you're like getting 3 money's worth out of the scavenging ability. It's okay. Yeah, I don't particularly like it either. But I mean, it is relevant to the Australia project, which is a reason to play it. And there might be something good scavenged. Both players have 3. I guess one of them will have to settle for 2. There's not like there's any Australian animals on the horizon anyway. I was going to say, one thing I do like about Melon's board is there are like barely any empty enclosures. One habit that I've gotten back into, like a bad habit of doing, is building too many empty enclosures. It just wastes all your money that you should be spending on animals to get your income up. But yeah, only building enclosures when you need them. Size 2, size 2. Petting zoo is a bit weird, but there's at least one animal in there. Aviary is about to get used. So efficient building. The opponent's done very well on that too. No empty enclosures. Okay, we're playing the bird. Why? Opponent could trigger a break. It gives us a reputation to get a 3rd worker. It's, yeah, if the break happens, it's better to have a bit more income before the break. It still seems like a weird time to play it. But I guess drawing cards would also be bad because they can't fit anymore in their hand because they don't have the uni. Probably keep the peafowl here for the bird symbol. Yep. So they got 3 birds in hand. Opponent still has 2 played. This is where if you're the opponent, I think this is a mistake. You have to trigger the break here. Because you can see your opponent has, well, you can see that Melon has 2 unspent workers. Now is just a good time to trigger the break before they can spend them, especially when Associate is at power 4. Probably plans to get the 2nd uni. And it's not worth taking a build action just to build 1 kiosk to get like 2 more income. Be much more efficient to take a break there. And also a weird time to take a sponsor because, okay, I guess if they had something playable, they would play it and not trigger the break, I guess. Keeping release and releasing a bird. I think you keep the birds, you just go for 4 or 5 birds. Releasing one would be a mistake, I feel. Yeah, spending both workers to be able to keep all the cards in their hand and just upgrade another card, which is Associate, which surprised me a lot because they're right at the door of 10 reputation. And normally when you upgrade sponsors, it's Associate that doesn't get upgraded, but they're choosing not to upgrade cards. I checked how often they do that as well. They upgrade cards in about 91 or 92% of games. Animals and build were like 99 and 98, so it suggests that like 1 in every 11 games or something, they don't upgrade cards. That was another interesting debate. Do you actually take the uni, or do you just race them to get this uni from 5 CP? But I think if they had have taken an X token, the opponent would have just triggered the break. So I understand using your workers before the break. We can see that the opponent is probably going to win the race to this uni. Well, probably, almost certainly going to. I don't think they can be stopped. Do we have anything interesting here? Small animals could be interesting as like a project to support. Opponent's not interested in it at all. They've only played size 3 animals and they have another size 3 coming. It's a little bit weird. So don't necessarily need to snap it because the opponent's not threatening it. I don't think there's anything here worth snapping in particular. Wow. I guess now you are going for 5 Australia. And what do you not keep here? GG is called out. Possible. I think you definitely keep the cassowary. That's now the 4th bird, so we're in like scoring range from it. We can now support it. And do you keep the koala or wombat? I guess the koala might, like, I would probably not think twice and keep the koala, but it's probably too expensive with all these other animals that need to be played, so the wombat might be a smarter choice. Which they do. Opponent must have, like, telepathically seen that and just said, stuff it, I'm supporting Australia at 2. They get their worker, which is good. They also get the university. They're still very far behind upgrading cards. Like, their income is ahead, their points are even, money's even, but they're just a little bit behind in upgrades. True, and the reputation is completely wasted because cards is not upgraded. That's another very good point. It's so nice upgrading sponsors on this map. They play Archaeologist and Quarantine Lab at the same time. There's a familiar face. Opponent, I don't think has anything worth snapping here either. They just draw from the deck. We'll speed through this match a little bit. This should probably be like a size 3 and a size 2. Size 3 over the money makes a lot of sense. With Archaeologist, X token for sure. And size 2. Gotta remember that still Architectural Zoo. And I assume that's the one that they're going to keep. So you really do want to connect these water over here. But this position interested me a little bit. I guess because the Wombat has no requirements, you don't want to like waste a water or rock spot. And I guess you also do want to cover all the border spots with Architectural Zoo. You get 1 CP for doing that. And it's not like you can put a kiosk or pavilion there because there's a kiosk here. Sorry, you can put a pavilion there, but you can't put a kiosk there. So that was just a little interesting thing. I would like almost never put the 2 enclosure there. But that's something that I should think about more as well. Opponent spending an X token to build before they play animals, suggesting that they have a size 5 animal. True, and Archaeologist is all border spaces as well. That is also something that I realized this week. I thought it was just for covering your whole map like side entrance, but it is only border spaces. And yes, you can put a nice kiosk here and pavilion up above it. I suppose you just play both Australian animals right now. Multiplier on build is probably not going to see the light of day, but yeah, having 5 Australia here is extremely nice. This game shouldn't have too many turns left in it. When people start hitting like 30, 40, 50 points, the game is very close to ending. And that's why at this stage, you really want all your cards upgraded. If you're spending an action now, like getting a university to upgrade your 3rd or 4th card, it's very, very slow. Why not poach reptile sponsor? It's a good question. Pouch. What did they pouch? They didn't pouch anything, so, well, the obvious answer is they plan on playing it. And I guess they can see with these sponsors coming down that they'll be able to play this and like Victory Column next, and Sponsorship Reptiles is going to give 2 appeal anyway, so you might as well keep it, I guess, plus some income. Okay, opponent finally upgrades all their cards. They do the more normal thing and not upgrade Associate, but I would argue it's probably better for them to upgrade Associate because they're so far away from 10 reputation. Victory Column. This is the newest card they added in. It's very similar to the Arcade, which is a new card they added in as well. It takes up a single hex on your map. You place it. It gives you 1 appeal income every turn. It gives you 1 appeal straight away. And if you have less appeal, then we get 2 appeal for every zoo who has more appeal than yours. Yes, very beautiful artwork. Let's admire it for a second. Very handsome, man. This would have to be Australia at 5. And taking the 2 enclosure also makes sense for Architectural Zoo and Archaeologist. Just covering the borders. There's probably going to be a break soon anyway. The 10 money here is going to be beautiful. And what do you take here? I guess they also foresaw that they could play sponsors with this action. But they decide to take a multiplier and put it on cards. Discard Conservation Zoo, we all saw that coming. And now putting a size 2 enclosure here. Put another multiplier on build. Is that actually possible? Can you do 3 times build? You said it's possible. I haven't seen it before. Opponent spend an X token, so yeah. You really have to trigger the break when your opponent has 2 multiplier tokens. Wow. Everyone says yes. Okay, you can have 3 times. Cool stuff. Yeah, but now the score difference is pretty big. 20-point lead. Plus we can see that Melon has 2 birds in hand, so they're going to get this soon. So we can see this match is probably over. The opponent has enough money to do anything they want. Drawing from the deck gets the overpowered monkey as well, although it's not overpowered at all at this stage of the game. Bison could be interesting, honestly. Just to like get to Europe. The opponent would have to hope for like an elephant and something else. Okay, it is an elephant. I mean, that's going to help them a little bit. Probably not enough still. Yeah, their reputation is really far behind. But okay, deer to flock with the elephant. Nice little move. Elephant and big panda. They could actually, yeah, they need, well, they can't play the panda anymore because they don't have the Asia Partner Zoo and they can't get it. Yeah, so this is that double sponsor move I was thinking about. Expert on Africa. Okay, well I guess with Explorer it is actually extra appeal. And Victory Column. Choosing just to hold on to Sponsorship Reptiles. I guess these are more contested and he's probably got enough money to do like everything he wants anyway. Oh yeah, just play all 3, obviously. Moose is quite nice for the opponent. That would be the 4th Europe symbol they need, and it can flock with the elephant as well. So they should probably snap it up here. Okay, or they can just take the slow worm as well, I guess. I would have liked... okay, and small animal. Yeah, so on this map, once you cover the H's, every sponsor is 1 power cheaper. So if you upgrade sponsors, you really can slam them out. This costs 2, 2, 3, so you only need a 6 strength association sponsor action to play all 3. What is going on here? Are we getting a Europe partner suit? Oh, just Americas. Okay, it makes the Condor a little bit cheaper. It's also another Explorer point, but that's irrelevant. Oh, it's the last worker as well, I guess. Yeah, okay. We're fast approaching the end of the game. Reptile House. Don't know about that. Don't know about that at all. They already have a size 3 enclosure that's free. Seems like a weird building to play right now. Okay, size 3 enclosure for the P-Fowl, yes. And a size 2 enclosure over like a pavilion? I would normally always take the extra point. I'd probably... like a kiosk now is completely useless. There's probably going to be one or no more breaks. But I'd still like to put a pavilion in there, especially when there's already like size 2 enclosures everywhere. I can't confirm, I'm not playing. Go. The problem is the reptiles just in general aren't good animals to play. It connects some water. I mean, you can still do the same with Kiosk Pavilion or Size 1 Pavilion, but there's still this water over here. Anyway, interesting move. Opponent supports the herbivore breeding program from the very start of the game. They decide they want the reputation, 2 reputation over 1 CP, which I can't blame them for. They also take the 2 enclosure size, so they're pretty close to filling up their map. Alright, here we have the 2 animals, the 2 birds. Opponent discarded small animals as well. So it was clearly a denial pick from them. Oh, we also have the we have the second petting zoo animal now. Watch out. Okay, we can connect to the water with the P-Fowl. But we still choose not to, and now we build a kiosk. I still would have liked pavilion there. Unless they've like super calculated their score to end up on 99. Pavilion's just an extra point. The money's kind of meaningless. I mean, you're gonna play the petting zoo animal and something else. Okay, opponent has a nice sponsor action. Tech Institute's alright. I mean, you basically get the X token back. Sponsorship Elephants is also alright. And sponsorship Primates. So even though 3 sponsors played, it's like still like a little move. They need to catch up serious points. Sumatran tiger would be a very nice animal to finish the game with. Also the alpaca. They might just snap up the alpaca. Okay. They're going to assume that the opponent leaves it for him. Those 3 were still weaker than lizards. Yeah, those 3, yes. Native lizards was very strong. Opponent's playing the boa constrictor. But we have quarantine zones, so we don't really care. Quarantine lab. And this is the 4th Europe. Kind of nice. Where did that moose go? I hope they... Okay. They just took the moose. Yeah, okay. Moose is a good animal for the opponent. Yeah, supporting birds at 4 is safe. There's no plans to get a 5th bird, and it's just like the opponent's never going to get to 5 birds from here, so it's just blocking them a little bit as well. Haven't played it yet. I think they will play it. Opponent is supporting, yep, Europe. Taking the money, taking more money. They're still a lot of points behind, but at the same time, they do have the extra end goal from the elephant, which I also just found out is this little icon here, this +2. That means 2 end goals, and that means 1 end goal, which I had no idea about. But cool little thing I learned. Okay, this just triggers the end of the game before the break, actually with perfect money. Petting zoo. So now it does make the kiosk a bit suspicious, but digging just for the fun of it as well. I don't know about clutch. I think they were probably fine to win this game anyway. They could have also done other things with their workers. It's the opponent that really needed to take the break. I like that as well, Graham. Good idea. They could have actually used the digging ability first to make the petting zoo animal cheaper by digging something down here. I guess the other risk is that you reveal something good for the opponent. Oh, but their reputation's down there anyway. Rock monitor into moose, I guess. There's the moose. The timing of the petting zoo was so weird, but I mean, they did manage to play all 3 of them, and if you play all 3, it's definitely worth it. Well, I'm pretty sure the opponent knows that, like, the end of the game is near. Excuse me, you're moving me back?
You're always, like, leaning forward, so your chin is cupped.
Yeah, 15-point win by Melon. So, some interesting... Okay, opponent had Research Zoo and Diverse Species. Diverse Species, they did very well. Research Zoo, not so much. They should have really tried for that. Yeah, I guess getting the 3rd unit would have been nice for, like, 2 more CP there. 1 more CP from Tech Institute. 1 more CP from unlocking it. So that would have been a great unit to get. But interesting things this game. Not upgrading cards, did it actually work out that well? I mean, they got to donate 3 times, so 3 CP from that. I don't remember them ever spending X tokens to do like 2 actions at once. Maybe they did once. So they did it just to donate and to get a 3rd partner zoo, which did unlock the worker. But yeah, not upgrading cards. They did miss out on quite a bit of reputation from doing that, so they would have got 1 CP back here. An X token, some card draws. They didn't need the card draws. But yeah, move I didn't see coming. They didn't really do that well for Architectural Zoo at all. Did they actually score anything from it? They connected to all the rocks and that's it. So they got 1 from it. They didn't need to connect all their borders because they were just rushing the game that quickly anyway. Yeah, they really ignored their sponsor endgame scoring. Didn't get the diverse animals, didn't get diverse continents. So I guess it wasn't guaranteed that the petting zoo animals would be there. But still, I think it would have been much better to, like, obviously, instead of building over here, build pavilion. It does block the tiger, though. So I understand the reasoning at the time. They probably didn't expect to end the game before, like, another break. So this would have been, like, a 4-break game, which is not that normal. But yes, well played. Some interesting decisions that I need to reflect on a bit. And it was pretty informative. We'll move on to the next game. Our friend BDW, the sponsor man. He's not my friend. Yes, thank you, full screen. I did remember by myself, but I'm glad that people are reminding me. Good. BDW is known for upgrading sponsors a lot. He's currently the #1 player again, but that changes. Well, he's not my enemy. I just don't know him. I'll call him my friend. I like him. I like the way he plays. We need to learn more about how he plays. We're on an observation tower here. So the question is he going to upgrade sponsors? Is he going to take this playing sponsors for money card? Probably not if he's going to upgrade sponsors anyway. How much is he going to use the tower? And what on earth do you start with here? End goals are sponsor zoo and aquatic park. So that already may be like the first signal that he's going to upgrade sponsors. There's not too much here for aquatic park. I don't think you ever keep the slow worm. But what do you keep here? There's not much relevant to the goals. You could like keep these for the continent icons, but I don't think it's that important. I've been looking at the arena rankings a little bit this week. I check daily. But yeah, it's been pretty crazy. I think everyone's been dropping an Arc Nova. I've been dropping. I'm down to like 520 now.
He's tilted.
I'm not tilted. Everyone's just playing a lot better. And I'm not. We have herbivores, lizards, habitats. Habitats, as I was saying, it's not that important because if you get 3 or 4, it doesn't make too much of a difference. I guess rushing to 3 is better so you can support it earlier. So there is some merit to keeping both of these to do that. But at the same time, ornithologist is quite good because birds are generally the strongest animal, I would say. And then do you keep the eagle owl, which I've noted that a lot of strong players like this animal a lot as well. But the problem is you need a Europe partner zoo to play it, and then it's not really helping with habitat diversity. But we'll see. So apparently you do keep the slow worm. I guess if the plan is Europe partner zoo, you're getting a discount on this anyway, but especially on this map, how on earth do you play it? You have to play it away from the tower unless you build a size 2 enclosure here and just fit it in anyway. Interesting things on the display early. We have Europe release actually. BDW is first player. Do you just snap this up and plan to release the slow worm? But at the same time, you have reptiles here. Okay, so that's another good point for keeping the slow worm. But I still think you release the slow worm over the owl? Maybe, I'm not sure. Releasing is a lot better on this map because you want to like flip and unflip the enclosures. So I think it's a perfectly reasonable snap as a first move. Opponent snaps up the ibex. Okay. They might already have some herbivores. I do like the ibex as well. It's one of my favorite animals. It is. I really like it. I like the jumping ability a lot.
The card, not the animal.
Yeah, I don't care about the animal. I like the card.
You said it's one of my favorite animals.
Well, yeah, I assume everyone knows what I mean, the card. So we have Ornithologist on BDW side, and the opponent's playing Expert and Herbivores. Herbivores, nice icon for that project goal.
I mean, JJome is also highly rated.
The opponent was about 500.
Okay. I'm back with real life ibex. There's a lot of them in Otsabwa.
This is the first move I didn't understand. Well, I'm not going to pretend I watched a lot of this match. I think I stopped about here. But, no, okay, I watched a few more moves. But, okay, I thought for sure that Europe Partner Zoo would be the first move, but they decided to take Hand Size Uni instead. I can't really explain it yet. I mean, it's always useful to have. It's never a bad move, but I thought if you're keeping the Eagle Owl, you would get Europe Partner Zoo first, but apparently not. Opponent has built the size 2 enclosure. And BDW, in another move that shocked me, just slams down a size 5 enclosure. And I don't really get that move either. Is it for this condor? Do we care about maximizing Ornithologist that much? Is it just a strong card? It's better on this map because you can build the bird aviary after and then unflip the enclosure. Still seems like a very weird first animal to play when there are these options here. But I guess the early reputation is very good as well. Opponent takes the other good university. Now we're spending an X token to get cards to snap the condor. I mean, these are moves that I would... These are the things I would not be doing in if I was playing this game. Opponent's playing the ibex. Nice. Works for their herbivores. And yeah, sponsorship elephants coming up is very interesting for the opponent here. They should be looking to grab that. Especially if they can like snap it up now. Well, okay, snapping is going to trigger the break, but they should be looking to grab it and play it. It's not another icon, but it's just good appeal and good income. Okay, yeah, seems like we're playing the condor. Yeah, there's about to be a break, so play your animals before the break. It means he has a slight income lead, and are you really going to keep the stoat to go with like full Europe? Probably. Opponent choosing to build instead of break. Always like a dicey decision for me. Okay, I guess, okay, actually no, that makes sense. They really want the wombat for the herbivore. Okay, I take that back. That's a very, very logical move. They will have to discard a card, but I think getting the herbivore is worth it for sure. Now this is interesting. I have not watched past this, but I would guess you take the break here over playing Expert on Africa. Because the opponent still has a ton of money. You don't know what sponsors they have. But playing Expert on Africa does very little now. Like, you don't want to use the clever ability. You want Associate and then build, most likely. So, yeah, taking a break is just a very smart decision. Because if you don't take a break there, you just get quite stuck. And it also forces the opponent to discard a card instead of them being able to play a sponsor and keep all their cards. You never know what they have. Okay, opponent is drawing from the deck and not snapping up sponsorship elephants. I wonder how they're planning on drawing that then. Because it's definitely a card that they should be prioritizing quite highly. Okay, taking the other university to upgrade build. Upgrade build and probably animals, yeah. That's quite normal. This is a very standard opening so far. We haven't seen sponsors upgraded. In fact, we've barely seen any sponsors played. Opponent does the same thing, most likely to upgrade. Okay, they upgrade animals first. Yeah, that makes sense. They upgrade animals to get one more reputation so that they can then upgrade build after that. Good sequence of moves there.
I can barely see him, it's too black.
So I assume we're building a size 2 and then a size 1 to play the slow worm and the stoat. Well, yeah, that way, either way doesn't matter. Oh, that's a very good denial pick. That's why I think the opponent should have snapped it up. Yeah, that's a very good card to take away. I really do like that move. And beautiful kiosk placement. Oh yeah, so that's the difference there, and that's the little thing that I would absolutely stuff up. You put the size 1 there and then the size 2 there so they all touch the kiosk. It's little things like that that I don't pay enough attention to. And that could be, that's like 1 income every break difference, which can add up.
But maybe all these games are also turn-based? Is there a way to see?
This was a real-time game.
Yeah, but is there a way to see when the game is finished?
Yeah, you look at how much time everyone spent.
Ah, yes, of course. It can't be in real time. It's like 10 hours or something.
Ooh. So opponent didn't have a sponsor to play. They just progressed the break marker forward 5. And so I don't know, in BDW's shoes, I'd be tempted to play both animals, but at the same time, you don't really want your opponent playing an animal, but they can only play the wombat. So is it better for them to play the wombats and for you to play the slow worm and the stoat? Because these would probably give more appeal. But at the same time, it costs an X token, so... Anyway, I think, yeah, playing, doing 3 sponsors instead of cards makes a lot of sense, because the hand's already full. You don't want to be drawing more cards right now. And it's always nice having cards at 5 after a break, so you can immediately snap up a new card that you see. Like the Meerkat Den would be pretty useful. You know the opponent has herbivores to play still, and they're racing to get to 5, so I would expect that they're going to snap up the Meerkat Den, BDW that is. Okay, opponent's going to play their wombats. Still relatively even match. Something funny. And it's not like that BDW needs to draw that many cards, because he's already got 5. Yeah, okay, I like that a lot. So I've seen 2 denial picks, Meerkat Den and Sponsorship Elephants, taken away from the opponent. Giraffe there, he wouldn't have been happy to see. Okay, opponent's building. Good kiosk placement, like it. And then size 2 down to the repute. Okay, no, size 2 just next to the tower as well.
So it's the same for the kiosk and the size 1 and 2 are touching the kiosk and the thing.
Yeah, this is more expected. I mean, yeah, this looks normal, but yeah, good kiosk placement. That's something I'm definitely going to have to focus on. Oh.
I feel your weakness is usually the puzzle aspect. You know, the map.
I didn't really expect the Bird of Paradise to be played. I guess it doesn't really matter. I mean, why am I surprised though? It makes a lot of sense. He's going to play the slow worm as well anyway, so the Stoat doesn't need to be played. Yeah, that is the third continent, so that's a very good move. And I fully expect that is what he'll do. He could also release, but I guess you'd probably just habitat diversity first. Yeah, you need the Europe anyway to play the Stoat. Opponent takes the partner zoo, so they probably have small Asia animals to play. Probably. They might have the Tarsier to play. That would be a very good reason to get the Asia partner zoo. Does release first. And we upgrade cards. Surely there is no way that he upgrades sponsors from here. But also, I'm kind of surprised he didn't upgrade sponsors because there are 3 like decent sponsors lined up there. Even expert on large animals right now is okay. Yeah, the release gives the reputation. At the same time, it kind of slows down the Stoat being played, which I presume would have been the next animal. Opponent's just drawing from the deck. And what did he take? He took 5 income instead of a second worker, which I like as well. Once you're close to that 8 reputation, I don't think you need like a third worker immediately. So generally, if I'm around 6 or 7 reputation, I'll take income instead of worker. If I'm down at like 3 or 4, I'd take worker most of the time. We really want to build extra things. We are spending an X token to build size 6. Okay. It's an aviary. Oh, okay, yes. Well, that was the plan anyway. We moved the condor. Kind of an interesting time to build it now. At the same time, I found this size 5 enclosure like an interesting time to build it. It doesn't seem like there's any rush to play a big animal in here or to play a bird in here. But at the same time, this is like the last rock and water spot on the map because up here is already covered, although there is a spot up there that could fit it. But I get it. Kiosk there is fine. Opponent triggers the break. Oh, I guess that's a cute little spot for the meerkat den down here. 1, 2, 3. That could be an option.
Yes, meow.
Some pretty good sponsors here. Foreign Institute would be very handy for the opponent to make the jump from 5 to 8 to get a second worker. If I was the opponent, I'd be looking for that. Guerrilla Field Research as well, after you get the icon from Foreign Institute's quite nice. I guess not really, it doesn't help that much. Okay, is he going to put it in the spot? Yes, love it. So good, gets the 5 money here, touches the kiosk, leaves a size 2 spot here for the observation tower. Opponent's building a size 4. Oh, that's a weird spot. So maybe a little bit of poor planning, but it seems, I mean, that suggests that they have a size 4 animal that they want to play next, which means if you want to play it earlier, you'd rather it touch the tower earlier, I guess. BDW just getting a partner zoo, must be Europe, surely. And opponent's playing animals. They play the giraffe in there. Okay, I fully expected them to play the giraffe. But what's the angle with building a size 4? Was it just to distract BDW, make him think that the giraffe wasn't going to be played? Because, like, otherwise surely you'd build a size 3 and a pavilion or something. These were already here. Odd. Yeah, I mean, to hit the money, but build was upgraded, right? Unless they plan on, like, releasing it, and then there's a size 4 enclosure. I don't know yet, we'll see. That is the only animal that they played. They choose to boost sponsors down. Yeah, I mean, it could be to empty it, but then at the same time, if you're going to empty it, you really want it touching the tower. That's one of those things that is like a couple of extra points, but those are the things that you have to maximize. Okay, could definitely take the monkey here as like a size 2 animal to play. No, don't be stupid. There's the eagle owl being played there. Expert on large animals could be a good one to get. That's quite nice. That fits in the aviary and it's Europe. It's very cheap. Okay, expert on large animals. Makes more sense now with the stork as well. It's another large animal. The first seal has to die here because it just can't fit. There's no rock water spaces. On this map in particular, it's tough to get them to get rock and water together. Okay, opponent has all 4 habitats, so we will assume that that's what they're going to support. We also have some nice uni reward up here, which I didn't talk about earlier, but they'll definitely both be racing to 8, because I'd much rather a uni over 5 gold or 3 card draw. And they take snapping as a first thing to get Foreign Institute. So I did suggest that it was a good sponsor for them. Snapping might have been a bit dramatic because they have cards 5 as the next action anyway, and they have 6 cards in hand now. So I think in their spot I would have preferred income, or I would have preferred the extra worker. Nevertheless. Alright, I guess we just play double bird here. Eagle owl first to, I guess, see what cards are drawn. Get to keep 2 of them. Probably keep the alligator and, well, probably the turtle and the alligator, yeah. Oh, keeps the lion, actually. No, there's 1 predator. Well, to be honest, it's probably getting thrown out anyway, and it doesn't really matter. I guess if he lucks into more predators, well, maybe he's seen the wolf and plans on building that as well, but this is very, very long term. Oh, that's actually very smart. That's so smart. Plays the turtle in this size 5 enclosure, and he's going to release it again. And it's a decent animal to release because it gives you a CP and you keep the CP. That's something I didn't even think about. Sells the lion and expert on Africa. Yeah, opponent just draws from the deck now. Yeah, right. It looks like he's going to win the race to the 3rd uni. Still needs another partner zoo. I'm still want to know which card of these he upgrades. It might be neither. Yeah, opponent has a lot of cards, which when your opponent has 6 cards and they're drawing more cards, it tells you that they probably don't have anything good in their hand. And it should make you feel a bit more comfortable. Playing sponsors before building's a little interesting to me. I don't think this is even like a good time to play expert in large animals. So expert on large animals gives you a discount for all future large animals of 4 money. But if you've already got them played, it gives you 2 appeal. And we know that 1 appeal is worth about 3 money when it comes to balance. So usually you'd want to play your large animals first, which is why I'm kind of surprised his players are playing this now. I guess, though, he also doesn't want to have a break, because he still has a worker unspent. Okay, opponent's building more size 4 enclosures, not touching the tower. And a size 1. This would be a very large indicator that they have a size 1 animal that needs water, and that they're going to play it. Probably a small reptile. Otherwise, if you already have a size 1 enclosure, I don't think you'd ever build another size 1. So this is like a pattern I can get into, having all these open enclosures. It's a bad habit. It's a waste of money. They're not contributing you getting more income. They're just a money sink. And look at the income difference, 35 to 20 right now. The opponent does have some nice things going on. They've already got 4 herbivores played. They already won the race to habitat diversity, so I mean, it's not all bad. Okay, turtle gets released now. Oh. Okay, that's quite nice. So they win the race to the 3rd uni, so they have these science icons. So they take the Indian cobra. And they also take snapping, but I think guerrilla field research is definitely worth snapping there. And he's already got the 5 income, and he's already got a 2nd worker, so yeah, I like that a lot. Opponents playing animals. We should still keep in mind that they have Foreign Institute in hand. They'll probably next action take a partner zoo to upgrade cards, I guess. Okay, yeah, they play the little lizard. Sunbathing is nice when you have a lot of cards. Secretary Bird's a little odd to play. Actually works out really nice with the Africa release, though. That's like the perfect animal to release. You get 5 CP for losing 4 appeals, plus 11. It's a really nice one. Kind of unfortunate for BDW there.
You know who wins?
I know the result, yes. What are we looking to achieve here? Definitely want a size 2 spot for the cobra. Probably want a size 1 for the stoat as well. Okay, this works too. You build a size 1 for the stoat here in a pavilion. Yeah, okay, that works. In fact, that's even... Well, actually, no, it's probably the same. But yeah, really maximizing this kiosk. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 unique buildings around it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 unique buildings around this one. This one, not so much, but... Yes, that is the cheapest large animal I have ever seen in my life. I'm pretty sure you can't get any cheaper than that for a large animal. Also funny that this one is 1.
You can't have 0.
You can have 0. If Expert in Small Animals was played, this would be 0, which I've done a few times. Opponent takes the Africa Partner Zoo after they play an African animal.
No good.
Probably should have done that in the other order, I guess. They take more reptiles, okay. They're going for 2 reptiles. They still need that 5th herbivore pretty badly, though. Unfortunately, that's very unplayable for them. Gorilla Field Research time. Oh yeah, what were the scoring cards? Oh, I guess we keep Sponsored Zoo for sure. Neither are great though. It's, that's another disadvantage that BDW has. Still a big income lead though, and quite a decent point lead. It's maybe even more than 15 because he's now getting 3 points per shield, whereas the opponent's still getting 2, so it's a little bit more than 15-point lead. Opponent plays their Foreign Institute. Yeah, been not many sponsors for the opponent. A little bit unfortunate. I could definitely see Engineer being taken here. I'm not sure about Spokesperson though. And Zoo School at this time is like okay. Going for the wolf. Okay. Wolf may be a bit of a denial pick. Like, you don't want the opponent to release it either. It's another good animal to release. It is very cheap, but it also gives very few points. Because there's only 0 predators. Well, I mean, I guess the stoat's going to be played, so 2 predators.
That's predators.
I've seen this little guy hunt elephants. Don't underestimate them.
Okay. It's spears and stuff.
I've seen this guy hunt a freaking elephant. Size 3 up here. I mean, good kiosk placement. They took build before cards. Don't know about that. But I mean, putting the kiosk down before a break is good. They also move sponsors down. I don't think I'd be doing that. You're basically telling your opponent, I don't have a good sponsor that I want to play. But also, they should keep sponsors up because they should be wanting to trigger the break pretty soon. Yeah, look at how cheap these animals are. Take the monkey away. You don't want to get stolen from. Oh my god. That might be GG right there. He had 10 money before, right? That's very funny. Cost 2, cost 1, gets 3 back from Ornithologist. 0 money animal action. I like that a lot. Opponent's drawing cards. Nothing there that interested them. Yeah, bison unplayable. Too many appeal for the native farm animals. Building ×2. Probably a good time for like lots of pavilions. I guess not. Okay, size 3 for the monkey, and I guess the size 2 somewhere for the sun bear. Oh, that's beautiful looking, but what is going in there? Okay, he's keeping clever for when he actually wants to use it. Okay, size 2 for the sun bear. And out of money after that. Yeah, opponents just triggering that. This is why you don't move sponsors down. Like, they realize now that they want to trigger the break. If they had left it up here, they would have just had 1 extra money for no downside. I guess they got scared because BDW played like 2 animals for 0 money, which they probably didn't anticipate. Geologist is not bad for both players. Pretty good, actually. Gives 3 appeal and 1 CP at the end of the game. Yeah, opponent snaps it up. Ooh, unfortunate for them, a rhino got revealed though. And that could fit very nicely in that size 5 enclosure. Yeah, seems like he's going to play it straight away, along with the Cobra, I guess? Also keeping in mind that BDW has the Meerkat Den. And birds, of course birds. Very nicely timed rhino there. Can't use the effect of the Cobra, but it still gives a lot of appeal, actually. Because the requirements are so high, you're saving a lot of money if you play this guy. So it gives 6 appeal, costs 17, so it's like you're getting 1 money benefit, even if you don't use the ability at all, which he hasn't. So still getting benefit even though he doesn't use any of the hypnosis. Okay, let's see what animals the opponent's playing. We can expect okay, size 1, 5. Okay, that's the 5th herbivore they need. That's very nice. But they're so many points behind. Iconic Asia animal, yeah. Gives them the 2nd reptile they need. So interestingly, BDW hasn't bothered to get a 2nd partner zoo yet. But hasn't really needed to. The game's like sped up a lot. I think spending an action now to get a 2nd partner zoo just to upgrade a card would be a pretty big waste. Although there's a big argument to get an Asia partner zoo for the Sun Bear, as it like saves you an action itself. And the game should still need another break before it ends. Oh, actually does it? It'll be close actually if it needs another break. Like Zoo School is played, that gives 2 CP, and then we support this for another 2. Yeah, the game might not need another break at all. I remember this match being closer, but it doesn't look close at all. I guess there's like very few endgame points coming in here for BDW. What's the opponent got? Very few as well, though. Oh, okay, nice actually. Even playing this. Yeah, there's nothing else here that gives points, so might as well spend your money to play the sponsor card. Gets him to 99, and now how do we end the game? Just play hydrologist for 1 point. Cool. Opponent rushing to build a size 5 enclosure. Yeah, they can't support anything. They don't have enough workers. They could take a uni. It's not enough. So perfectly on 100, barely any endgame points, but they just rushed the game that much that it didn't matter. I'll see what animal the opponent has. Okay, rock monitor, sell some cards, play a size 5 animal. Nice.
What the hell is a rock monitor?
A reptile. Moose. Moose, like, second game in a row. That's nuts.
It's like an iguana color? Yeah, a bit.
Turn count. Good question.
You'll see in a sec.
I won't see in a sec. I'll have to find the game again.
Why?
Just 2 points from Sponsored Zoo. Okay, that was also another CP from Sponsored Zoo for getting the 6th sponsor there.
Usually I click just on BGA.
Alright, I can click that probably. So yeah, actually not that close. The game caught my eye because it was like very low scoring but not a concede. He just really rushed the end of the game. The Rhino was very well timed. I did especially like that sequence of endgame moves. Spending all the X tokens to associate at 5 just to get 2 CP, play Zoo School for another CP, and then use it to grab Hydrologist to get that 1 point needed. That was a very nice sequence that I honestly would not have found most likely. Little things like that to end the game quicker. Like he could have built a pavilion as well, but the 6th sponsor was another CP from getting a 6th sponsor, so just little points here and there. The opponent had favorite zoo, which they were close to maxing out. Yeah, what to say? Only upgrading 3 cards, so this is like a... Let's check the turn count. "29 turns, very, very fast. And yes, real time, 15 minutes versus 13 minutes. Very quick game as well. Is it his specialty? It's his other specialty. I don't remember that from previous games, but it's something that I've considered a lot lately. It's something I've been doing a bit too. Sometimes just the tempo is really bad for getting your 4th upgrade. Like, if you have to spend an action getting a partner zoo just to upgrade a card, it seems very, very slow. And as you can see, you can end the game in 29 turns without it. Because the extra upgrade wouldn't have done that much. It allows him to donate, but he just finished on 2 money, so... And it's not like... Well, I mean, he could have spent some X tokens to do 2 association actions, but probably not worth the extra turn. And the worker spent getting the partner zoo. Very nice overall, though. Yeah, this starting 5 enclosure was crazy, but he managed to flip it and unflip it twice. Played the size 3 turtle in there, which I really liked as a move, then released that as well. So yeah, releasing is quite good on this map. And then, yeah, building the vulture in there first and then building the aviary to unflip it again. And finally the rhino living in there. Just very, very well played overall. A lot to think about. Yeah, this was 29 turns this game. Didn't even need to play the sun bear. Yeah. I think he would have been fine if this game had gone to another break. He just would have taken like the Asia Partner Zoo and built these two animals and then taken another association action. He would have been fine. But if you have the opportunity to finish the game, then it's a good idea too. I think that's all we're gonna cover today. Let's have a quick look at the arena standings. Yeah, Melon Strawberry currently in number 1, but it's quite a close race. Yadi all the way down at 8th. That's definitely not going to stay for too long. We're going to see him up there again this week. He's too good of a player to be down there. Yep, BBB. BDW currently number 2. It's also quite late here. It's 1:30 for me, so we're going to wrap this up in a sec.
Are you in Kiwi land? Or something like that?
Yeah, 3:30 AM would be New Zealand for sure. Overall rankings, everyone's under 700 again. But I think like the next wave of players coming through is very strong. A lot of these 400 to 500 players can beat anyone. CN player I haven't seen before. Let's look at their stats. Yeah, lots of new names here that I haven't seen.
The Chinese seem to love the game.
Not bad at all if you win 49 of your first 50 matches. Well, obviously they've played before, but most likely a second account of a very strong player.
Smurf? Oh, not necessarily. Just played in real life, or
I guess. I mean, this is a very strong player at most things they play. Is that actually the one lost game abandoned? Possible.
It's abandoned. I don't think it counts, right?
No, true. Okay, that's abandoned as well.
Yeah, I don't think it counts. It's considered lost.
Very interesting nonetheless. Yeah, these abandoned games are weird. No, conceded counts.
Yeah, I know. Isn't it? Oh, I couldn't see if you lost me.
Abandoned games always interest me though.
Oh, minus.
That was the loss.
Yeah, that's the loss.
Anyway, we're getting quite sidetracked now. So thank you everyone for watching. We'll be back normal stream time on Sunday, so about 2 days from now, 48 hours. And we'll be playing Ark Nova and Lost Ruins of Arnak for sure. And anything else? Don't know yet.
It's about 2 AM in New Zealand.
It's possible they're asked to abandon the game if they have a bad start. Don't know. Like, that wouldn't be in the spirit of the game, but I guess if your opponent also has a bad start and they want to abandon, whatever. The thing is, both players have to agree to it, so I don't care that much. So anyway, thank you everyone for watching, and have a good rest of the day.